Hey, what's up? So, this is the OnePlus One, and this is OnePlus 9 Pro. And OnePlus story is a pretty fascinating one. When people ask me what phone do I use, I say OnePlus 60, and their reaction is either total blank, they haven't heard about the company at all, else they take out the same phone or a newer phone by OnePlus and they already belong to the enthusiastic ecosystem. It's a popular enthusiastic brand which is known in the community, but in the outside world they are still trying to break in the mainstream. A quote from Dark Knight: "You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain." And low-key, this is what's happening with OnePlus. So, from beginning, it's a brand which is managed by BBK Electronics. It also runs Oppo, Vivo, Realme, and a new brand recently came out which is named as IQ100. Even though being independently managed and run, they are kind of related, like brothers. So, OnePlus story starts pretty hot. The first phone, OnePlus One, was a massive success. It catches on instantly in the enthusiast community. Company could barely keep up with the orders. Back in the day, they had this wild system of invite only to get your hands on one of these, and it's pretty much impossible to get it right off the back. And the reason for this phone being a massive success is because it was positioned perfectly, known as flagship killer. It comes from a new company which did not spend a lot of amount in marketing, but they really took comments and forums or what the enthusiasts want from their phone. Amazing price to performance ratio, just top notch. Also, they signed up with Cyanogen mode for the software for custom new Android stock UI. They were active within their communities by constantly pushing software updates and adding more and more features in the Android stock. If we put up a list of the best phone in the last decade, this gotta be on the list for sure. I personally feel they weren't familiar with the marketing strategies, but they broken in and they carved out an identity of being this new enthusiastic big phone company. Well, it's a new company, but I won't call it that, as there were sub brands alongside. Example: Oppo, Vivo, and Realme. Even though being a dynamic, enthusiastic company overall, it just doesn't feel new. I'll explain why. For the past couple of years, OnePlus phones have also been Oppo phones. Here's why. So it goes all the way back when OnePlus One came out, alongside the Oppo Find 7a. Two different phones from two different companies, but the hardware looks so damn similar. Main difference is just the software. You see, Oppo is targeting one market and OnePlus is targeting another market. And also, OnePlus 5 and the Oppo R11. Except the logo change, I bet you cannot find anything different in the hardware. After a while, OnePlus 60, which I personally use as my daily driver, come along with Oppo R17. And also today, you have OnePlus Nord N100, which is visually almost indistinguishable from Oppo A53. Fast charging. Oppo's Whoop fast charging gets a new name as dash charging or warp charging in OnePlus. Well, nothing's wrong with all that. So why is OnePlus not what it used to be? You see, OnePlus is evolving. Clearly, it started as a company focused with one phone per year, with all the heavy parts, bringing the highest value for the lowest price and sinking deep into what enthusiasts want from their phone. Well, technically, that isn't feasible for long run. Enthusiast market is a tiny part of the entire market. Being to the enthusiast ideal is great, but being able to sell it to the whole market, they need to leverage that status. So there's been a lot of changes over the years. Pricing of the flagship has slowly crept up. OnePlus One started at $299 when it first came out as the flagship killer status. They also tried the OnePlus X, which was more fashion focused. They started dropping the T versions, the Pro version, and the non-Pro version. And Nord, yes, Nord, the blown boundary of the budget phones in different regions for different low prices. And here's where enthusiasts like us can go in depression. As OnePlus isn't focused anymore like before, with only one phone per year being that absolute beast which now goes chasing the mainstream. So there are multiple headlines that OnePlus is turning into Oppo with all these new phones coming out. And if you observe, OnePlus is already turning pages from Oppo's playbook since the beginning. Eventually, both the companies want to sell as many phones as possible. Enthusiast brand theory. There's almost no way that an enthusiast brand won't disappoint you. They have got only two options. A, they will move on from enthusiast and try and make a sell to the mainstream buyer, which sucks. They continue to try to appeal to the most fickle crowd in the world. That is the smallest and also not good enough to sustain a business, and they are buried in the ground. Well, that sucks too. So, the conclusion. Don't be a fanboy. Yeah, just don't be a fanboy. Don't become such a fan of any company that they might betray you and let you down. Instead, be a fan of the product that the company has to offer to you. And if they drop a bad product, maybe it's time to move on and see other companies. Super simple logic. So, OnePlus story is a pretty crazy. A new fresh company breaks and disrupts this thing and shake in a little bit. But on the other hand, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. That doesn't mean OnePlus is dying or they become evil or they won't make any good phones in the future. No, that's not what I mean. They have created a DNA of creating amazing phones which we continue to use and like. That will obviously keep happening. But if you are looking for the best bang for the buck smartphone brand, well, that's a rotating spot which might never be reserved by one company for a longer time. Either way, that's been it. Thanks for watching. Leave a like and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.